Glad to have you back. It is still TVC Breakfast and it's talk time. And it's time to talk sports.
Yeah. Now, football is a global sport, and in Africa it is more than a sport. It is a unifying factor. Now, since 1992, the African Footballer of the Year award has been an annual award presented to the best African footballer, and Kanu Nwankwo last won the award for Nigeria in 1999, and this year makes it 17 years Nigeria last won the award.
Let's take this reaction from current African Female Footballer of the Year, Azizat Oshoala.
This is not for me. It's on behalf of all the female footballers in Africa to speak for us. We deserve more, in my opinion. A lot of things going on around the world now. We know it happens everywhere, but I mean, what we're going through in Africa right now is not something to write home about. It's nothing to write home about. The same thing going on with Ghana, same thing going on with Nigeria as well. I think we just have to do more. The federation have to do more in every country regarding female football.
Right, you just listened to Azizat Oshoala, the Female Footballer of the Year on the African continent. Now, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, is the governing body of the African football. CAF represents Africa's football associations and runs continental, national, and club competitions.
It was founded in 1957 and has 56 member associations, and the Confederation of African Football, CAF Awards, was instituted to honor footballers and personalities who have excelled in various games annually.
Now, Nigeria football was celebrated at the 25th edition of the Glow CAF Awards as the football family scooped 4 awards for outstanding football personalities and teams in 2016.
However, no Nigerian player made it to the final shortlist of the top 3 in the coveted African Player of the Year award category. The Women's National Team of the Year went to Nigeria's Super Falcons, who finished ahead of Cameroon and South Africa at the last edition of the African Women Cup of Nations in December.
And Manchester City and Super Eagles forward Kelechi Iheanacho won the Most Promising Talent Award, an honor he also received in 2013. Now, the Youth Player of the Year award went to Arsenal FC and Super Eagles forward Alex Iwobi. To cap it up, the Women's Player of the Year award was clinched by Azizat Oshoala. You just heard her there. She played for Nigeria and Arsenal ladies.
Azizat finished as a top scorer at the African Women Cup of Nations tournament with 6 goals last December, helping Nigeria to the African title, their 8th title from the competition's past editions. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari was also awarded the CAF 2016 Platinum Award by the organizers. A good thing for the president.
Yeah, of course. Although I know when it comes to this, a lot of people have different reactions on that. But let's go on a break and then we come back to discuss this further. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast. All right, if you're just joining us, you're watching TVC Breakfast, and on this last segment of the program, we're talking about the CAF Awards and Nigeria's participation and Nigeria's ratings and all of that. Now, Nigeria's football fraternity is asking, how come the country has not been able to produce a world-class footballer to win the coveted trophy when it comes to the CAF Award? Now, joining us is a former footballer and sports journalist, Edafe Esiogene. Edafe, good morning. It's good to have you join us right now.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, we're fine. Now, Nigerians are really concerned that we've not really, after Kanu Nwankwo in 1999, there hasn't been any Nigerian winning the CAF Awards, the Footballer of the Year CAF Awards. We remember days when Nigeria was taking it back-to-back and so on. What's your assessment of that?
First, let's start with those people who won it, from Rachidi Yakini to Emmanuel Amonike, Victor Ekweba, and then Kanu Nwankwo in 1996 and 1999. You notice one thing that is constant: the quality of their talent was evident to all. And even at the time, the competition they faced was stiff, but you know, they stood up. Victor Ekweba was the Prince of Monaco in Monaco. They don't just call you the Prince of Monaco for fun. Rachidi Yakini was the undisputed king of goal in Africa, and even in Portugal where he played, he was at the top there, not playing for the top club, but it was so good he could win the highest goal scorer award. Look at Emmanuel Amunike winning the African Nations Cup as a player playing for Zamalek, but his input in that one single game against Zambia was enough. But you look at our players today, I'm sorry to say this, but it seems like we play more for social media, for money, than for the game. I can't recall a player in the last 10 years playing for Nigeria that will say, whenever we have a free kick, his name was going to be the name you mentioned. Even players that didn't win the African Nations Cup, like Julius Agawa, Sondo Lise, and the defensive crew that we had then, they were the best amongst equal. But today we just have pretty much a bunch of average players. No disrespect to them. These guys are professional footballers. They've got families who are watching right now. But we've got to say the truth. Bunch of average players who have refused to raise their game. That's what we discussed this morning on Sports Radio. That our players have refused to raise their game. And because you don't raise your game, nobody's going to rate you. 3 years ago, where was Mahrez? But we look at what Mahrez did with Leicester City, his contribution to the cause of the team, the goals he scored, the goals he created, his ability to be a shining light was so good that he won the PFA Player of the Year. That's something you hardly see Nigerian players being mentioned in all of the leagues they played. They don't win even the club player of the year or the player of the season. So if you can't win in that narrow competition, what makes you think you can win it in a bigger competition? Just if you can't swim in your swimming pool, don't go close to the ocean.
Okay, all right. You talked about the players. Is the environment friendly enough for them to even thrive? Don't forget what happened with the Super Falcons just a while ago, where they are celebrated for just taking the second position, and those who won the gold trophy got back home in Nigeria, and they had to even fight to get a stipend. What was your take on that?
Okay. It is not the Busola. It is not the environment that makes you a good footballer. It's this environment I played. I played 3 seasons in the Nigerian league. Rashidi Yakini, Okosha, Kanuwakwa played in the same environment. And this situation of not being paid didn't start today. Remember the late Stephen Keshi in 1993, a friendly match between Nigeria and Ghana, holding the team to ransom that they will not come out of the dressing room unless they are paid. So it is not something that is new. Just as the Bible, the Holy Read says, such as is common to man. You understand me? This has been with us since forever. But the ability for you to raise your game, between you and I, this job that we do, we also face the same challenge. But how come you're able to raise your game to distinguish yourself as one of the top presenters on television continental? It's a question of you face the same traffic, you face the same issues, salaries issues everywhere in Nigeria, but you are able to raise your game. Quality is what you have on the inside. Quality is not determined by the salary you're paid or the salary you're not paid. These players also earn in Europe. Let's stick with the men. Asisa Deshola won the African Baller of the Year for women. She doesn't earn half the money that the George Digallos of this world earn, or the rest of the players. How come she's able to win it for women, and then our men cannot even rise to that occasion? They can't even qualify for the Nations Cup. It's a case of quality lacking, and quality in football is something you work on. If to be a regular footballer, you need to put in 4 hours training shift. To be a world-class player, you need to put in 8-hour training shift. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, I've heard the story of how he goes to training ground 4 hours before the start of training. Are you saying Cristiano Ronaldo still needs to improve at this stage? Any Nigerian player that is half the level of Cristiano Ronaldo will not even go to training 3 times a week. Will come late to the Super Eagles camp and still play matches. But how come Cristiano Ronaldo still goes to training earlier than the rest of the team? There must be something that they are not doing right. If they do that, it doesn't matter what the environment or the condition is, they will be best players in the world.
All right, now there are very much concerns as to what really makes this players. We know the best we have right now may be the likes of Mikel Obi and Victor Moses and all of that. We know how much they have also tried to put in to even get to the level which they are now. But if you make comparison between the best we have, the best in quote we have right now, and the best we had maybe about 20 years ago, the composition or the makeup of all of them are not the same. What's the difference between what they are now and what they are at the time?
Well, the times are different all over the world. It's not just a Nigerian thing. The times are different, let's be very honest. 10, 15 years ago, you have a Zidane, Figo, David Beckham. You have a plethora of stars competing. Today, there are just only 2 players, and then the rest are just men mortals who are competing with 2 gods. That's the way we see them. But before, everywhere, Ronaldo da Lima was a god on his own. Ronaldinho showed up, he was a god. There was Kaka, there was Firmino Boban, there was everybody you need. Everywhere you turn, there is a great powerhouse. But these days, the standard quality has reduced. Agreed. But you see, like they say, it's stock. You buy stock when stock are crashing. I think that even if the quality have reduced, this is the time where the average Nigerian player is supposed to raise up his game so much so that average could give them premium. You know, when you raise your game, there are certain condiments you need in a football player. One, the ability to give accurate passes over a stretch of time, the ability to score from free kick, the ability which is called dead ball, the ability to attack certain moves like corner kicks and the rest. Our players don't know how to do that. And it's something you learn either from the basics or you watch others and you tell yourself, I want to do this. I remember when I signed for Sharks, I didn't know how to play free kick. Monday Sinclair told me that if you lean back, the ball will fly high. If you kneel on the ball will go low. If you put your leg, your balancing foot directly halfway to the ball, you can bend it wherever you want to. And it took a whole lot of practice. I became a specialist in playing free kick. And I read a book by, Andrea Pello. I think, therefore, I play. That's the title. He said that he watched Junior Panabucano play free kick, that he was amazed at the fact that somebody could play the ball from that distance like that. And he started hitting the ball. 90 ball in Juventus training every day. 90. To a point where the officials said they should lock the training ground, that it was wasting their ball. Okay. But that's how much sacrifice he puts in to become that. So can our players do that?
All right, let's look at the award itself for the year, the best the footballer of the year, which goes to, went to Riyadh. The difference between Riyadh, what's peculiar about Riyadh and Aubameyang, for instance, or our own Mikel Obi? What's special about him?
Well, Riyad Mahrez is a playmaker and he plays from the wing. What's unique about him is that normally we will call him a winger, but when a winger becomes a playmaker in the mode of mercy, not in the full mode, but just in the miniature mode, you give him a whole lot of credit. My pick for the African Footballer of the Year was always Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for his ability to score goals, his speed, his Thierry Henry-like movement and all that. But then Riyad Mahrez is a deserved winner. I can't argue against it. What's unique about him is the fact that he can score free kick, he can assist goal, and when he gets the chance to score, he can score. He also knows how to hang on the shoulders of the last man. He knows how to dribble. All of these things that he does add value to his team, not just for himself.
All right, now you are giving us what really makes that kind of player that we look forward to. Now, if we see from the coaching perspective, would you say that is one of the biggest challenges amongst Africa, or maybe if we narrow it down to Nigeria, would you say that is the biggest challenge Nigerian teams have?
Coaching has always been a problem because I played with a lot of coaches. Now, this is going to be annoying to some coaches. I played a lot of coaches in Nigeria before I traveled to Europe, and the system of coaching here is boys gather together 40 laps, 50 laps, and then that's all. But when you go to Europe, you start understanding what techniques is all about. Training with certain facilities that you don't even have in Nigeria in the first place. So you're not going to blame the Nigerian coaches wholesomely. But that said, I think one of the fundamental problems in Nigeria is coaching. But secondly, we have put stomach infrastructure ahead of everything. In Nigeria today, it is all about who have the money. So they look at it, why do I go through all of this when at the end of the day, it is still the same contract I signed for this club, I get paid. When I come back to Nigeria, I am God worshipped. Not for the ball that I play, but for the money and the cars that I drive. So they are not really motivated by the game. The game is not a means to an end. Before, the game was the end. You understand? So what was the means to an end was how much you train, how much you put into, how much you apply yourself to get to the end, which was the game. But now, the game is no longer the destination, but it's a vehicle. So some people, you want to travel in a vehicle that have AC and television. Some people tell you it doesn't really matter if it's cheap vehicle, as long as I get to where I'm going to. It doesn't matter if it is smoky and all that. Some tell you, you know what, if I get on the plane, I want to be in first class. Some in business class, but some others tell you, whether I sit in economic class or not, we are going to land in the same destination and come out of the plane at the same time. So Nigerian players right now are sitting in economic class, not just in economic class, but the very, very back end of the economic class.
All right, many have argued that getting a foreign coach at times is the panacea to good football in Nigeria. We have Rao now. Will that help the 2017 outlook and perhaps give us a better outing for this year's CAF Awards?
Going into the next CAF Award, our disadvantage is the fact that we didn't qualify for the Nations Cup. So anybody with an exceptional performance in the next in Gabon would already be a front runner. Mahrez is going to the African Nations Cup. per America, Aubameyang is going to the African Nations Cup. Mahrez is playing in the UEFA Champions League. His team has qualified for the next round. All of this will count. Every competition every award we've had, the previous winner will always be nominated for the next one. So one slot is lost already on the podium. Mahrez have one slot. Aubameyang might still do well to push the cause of Borussia Dortmund to get nominated. That's 2 slots. So who gets the 3rd slot? Look at the Nigerian players. Kelechi Iheanacho, a good player, but when you win Best Young Player 3 years ago and you come back again win Best Promising Player, I am confused. So I don't know if it will keep being a promise instead of fulfillment. Now, we look at Alex Iwobi. The fortune of Arsenal might hold him back, might shackle him down and not give him a chance. Then you look at the other players. I don't think Victor Moses, unless he wins the Player of the Season for Chelsea and Chelsea goes on to win the league and probably win the FA Cup and they start putting up great performance. We noticed at the beginning he won 3 man of the match in the space of 6 weeks, but since then he's come back to this normal, average self and regular player. So if he bumps up again, maybe we'll have it, but I don't think we'll be in the podium. But for the 2018 African Footballer of the Year, with Kelechi Iheanacho, Alex Iwobi, if they keep on doing what they're doing, we might be on the podium.
All right, that's a very good way to cap it, because I was going to ask you the prospects for Kelechi Iheanacho and Alex Iwobi, but you just capped it up there. Edafi Esogene, thank you very much for joining us on TVC Breakfast this morning.
Thank you, the best television of the year. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here.
Thank you. All right, this is where we come to the end of today's edition of the program. Thank you for spending your morning with us. Tomorrow, we'll be back again with other topics that affect you, us, Nigeria, Africans, and everyone across the world. Have a great day ahead. I am Mike Okwache.
And I am Busola Mintuashe. We'll see you tomorrow, bright and early.